Pro wrestling. It's been a part of my life since I was a little boy. Even into adulthood, it's a business that I got into back in 2005, debuted in 2007, and retired in 2019. Give it 12 years of my life. However, one of the things that I've learned in this business is you got your good and you got your bad. Plain and simple. Hell, even before everybody else, that was part of this business that I was in, even the people who have laid this landmark that is pro wrestling, that is the business of professional wrestling, or even sports entertainment, if you want to get to that point. You got your good eggs and you got your bad eggs too. The story I'm about to tell you happened here in this territory that is Dallas-Fort Worth in North Texas. Sure, Texas wrestling is huge. Texas is a huge, huge, huge part of the United States. You've also got California. You've also got the Northwest. You also got your Northeast style, and you got your Midwest too. Now, territory system may not be as big or prominent as it is, but with this boom in pro wrestling too, there's territories all over the United States and all over North America. Hell, the UK is still booming. You got Japan as well. However, the story I'm about to tell you is a story of sexual assault. It happened here. It happened in this business that I love. Most importantly, it happened in one of ours. The story I'm also about to tell you bears no ill will towards anybody in the United States Army, the United States Navy, the United States Marine Corps, the United States Air Force, or the United States Coast Guard, or any entity serving our country right now. Understand that somebody who served our country sexually assaulted one of ours. If the speaking out movement taught me anything about pro wrestling, it shows that both men and women can abuse sexually, mentally, and physically. It's a different business now. For sure, a different business. Everybody that I've talked to, everybody that I learned from, both past and present, who told me how different the business was, definitely tells me that it's much better this time around. But at the same time, not a lot of things change. And if the speaking out movement also said anything as well, is that shit will be swept under if the right people keep talking, and if the right people keep saying the right things, then nothing will happen. Of course, what comes around goes around. It may not be whatever happens to them what you want, or how you want it, but it comes around. Shit like that has unfortunately unearthed a lot of things in the business of professional wrestling. Even in entertainment too. With Harvey Weinstein, with Jeffrey Epstein, with, any kind of business like that. And it surprises the hell out of me because you forget that in this business, everybody is a target. If you're in the business of pro wrestling, whether you be a wrestler, a manager, a promoter, you're a target. You're a public figure, regardless of how public you really are. You're a public figure, and if you're a promoter, you are responsible for a roster of people. Your workers, your ring crew, your security, everybody. What happened just recently, and when I say recent, it's loosely based on an event that happened within a few weeks. Things that have just recently been unearthed. What happened was a promotion here in Dallas-Fort Worth, Texas. A promotion called DFW All Pro Wrestling. If you don't know what DFW All Pro Wrestling is, it's a promotion here in Dallas-Fort Worth. It is a wrestling school and a promotion ran by a great, great promoter, a great trainer and worker named Lou Gotti. Of course, that's what he works under. Another guy from the Midwest. He's got about 20 years experience in this business. I met him in 2014 in a little promotion called Metroplex Wrestling. Matter of fact, I was on the same team with him in my very first fight when Survived for MPX Wrestling. And the guy has a wealth of knowledge, a wealth of connections here in professional wrestling. Matter of fact, when New Japan came here to Dallas-Fort Worth, he was working security with a few other people. Not to mention, he also has his students going with him doing extra work as well. One of those students that I'm going to mention today is a female worker. She's a female worker that has actually had some TV time and one of his star students. Matter of fact, it's a student that everybody that we all love. She's about 5 years in this business right now. She goes by the name Alejandra Ryan. Now, Alejandra is young, very new to this business, still a little green, but after about 5 years, whoever really gets it. What I'm about to show you is some very raw and very real words coming from Alejandra. Now, in this business, when we want to sit there and break the molds of reality, because we've got fans nowadays that are smart to everything and just read the dirt sheets and try to get as much as they can out of all of it. This is much of a shoot as it gets. And what I mean by shoot, I mean it means it's real. But as real as it gets. This is not an angle. This is not anything that is fabricated. I want you to listen to these real words, these raw, real words from Miss Alejandra Ryan and her trainer, the promoter of DFW All Pro Wrestling, and a great teacher, Lou Gotti.
Tú puedes.
We've been here 5 years. I made my debut in this place, and I've given a lot to the American Legion Post. What I'm about to say right now is in hopes that this will not happen again. What I'm about to say right now is for every little girl who's standing here, for every woman and every person here. I'm gonna bring something up to light that I kept quiet for a couple weeks now, for some time now actually.
Tú puedes, tú puedes. Just roar. Let them hear you roar. You got it, Lion. We got you, baby.
After our last Hell and Back show, the graduation show, after all you guys were out,
Tú puedes, tú puedes.
I was sexually harassed and assaulted by the agent of the American Legion Post. He's a bartender here, and this motherfucker dared to put his hands on me in a way that I did not allow him to.
Fuck him. Come on, baby.
For weeks, I kept quiet, pretending like shit was okay, pretending like this didn't happen.
You got him, Mama. Let's go. Come on, Lion.
Sexual harassment, sexual assault is not something that should be fucking quiet. No one should be quiet. Because at the end of the day, I'm the one who's hurt. I'm dying and I'm over here pretending like shit is not okay. When these people are hurting us. When these people, they have the nerve to do this to us.
Yes.
Angry.
Yes.
Come on.
I'm done being quiet. I'm done being nice. I'm not hiding anymore. Why? Because I don't want another of these girls. I don't want any of these little girls standing here to go through what I'm going through, through the pain that I'm putting myself with for some stupid ass people who think that I brought this upon myself. I did not. I did not deserve this. I did not do this to myself. And these motherfuckers are saying that I did.
Thank you.
You never did, Lion.
Thank you,
No victim, no victim should be blamed by their attackers for what the motherfuckers did to us.
Period. Thank you, baby.
I will not go in depth on much of things because I already handled this shit the right way. There is a police report I filed, and that is a pending case. Because I'm doing this the right way. Because people like this do not deserve to be out walking, free, sleeping at night like it's not, like they didn't do anything. Mom over here miserable as shit.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes, ma'am.
Tell them.
If this motherfucker goes to fucking sleep thinking that I did this shit to myself, because I did. I did not do this to myself. And I don't want anyone to go through what I'm going through right now.
Yes, Mama. Yes. We love you, Alejandra.
I'm sorry.
After advising these people of what happened, Ryan advised me that she was afraid that something would happen to her school, and I failed her. I assured her that nothing would happen to our school. And instead of doing something about it, they voted us out of the American Legion. This shit will not stand! We will do everything in our power to ensure that Chad Page, Commander Chris, and Judge Advocate Dan will not survive this. You will not have a working business. You will not survive. You will not survive. We kept this place open, and instead of handling the situation like you were supposed to, you decided to kick us out. You thought it was going to go away, but you know what? This isn't 1960. This is 2022. We're going to go to social media. We're going to go to media outlets. We're going to make sure they know that this place is a cancer. This place allows sexual predators and thinks this is okay. And it's not okay.
Fuck yes! Fuck yes! Fuck you, Lincoln!
We ain't taking that.
You bitches!
That mentality.
We have until the 31st until find a new home. We'll find a place. It's okay. It's not about the school. We'll find a place. You want to know what? Because of you guys. You're supporting us. We'll be okay. We'll be okay. But they won't. I promise you. My last giving breath. This will never happen to another student, another woman, another daughter, another wife, another person. Get down! Get down! So yeah, I said it. Fuck the American Legion Post 655. Don't do this to yourself.
Motherfuckers!
Fuck the Legion! Fuck the Legion! Fuck the Legion! Fuck the Legion!
Hospital Corpsman, Petty Officer First Class, Chad Page is the person we're talking about. This shit wrapped in skin. The only thing I could say about something like that is how dare you sexually assault somebody. Much like your brotherhood, that is the United States Navy, the men and women that you served with, should be ashamed of yourself. You fuck with one of us, you fuck with the whole wrestling business. Sure, it may have happened here in Dallas-Fort Worth, but one of the many cities in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, Haltom City, Texas, yeah, I am not calling for a witch hunt. However, the proper steps to have this taken care of has already happened. And if anybody wants to know anything, just like how Alejandra says in that video, and just like how Lou Gotti said in that video, when this happened, the Legion, American Legion Post 665 in Haltom City, Texas, voted for this promotion, this wrestling school, to be booted out of their Legion Hall. Now, what does that say to you? What does that say to you? Does that say to you that, a group sticks together? Sure. A group can stick together, especially if it's one of your own. However, when these accusations come to light, one of two things can happen. One of two things could actually, this is a hypothesis of some people. A hypothesis is this. Ooh, we're being accused of somebody. One of our own is being accused. We're going to have your back. Or, no, you're lying. Underneath the rug. In this business too, the majority of the time when stories like this come to light, it's usually between one worker towards somebody else. No, this is not what's the word I'm looking for? This is not what I would call a specifically gender specific, if you will. Because I know the whole woke crowd's gonna sit there and be like, oh, this could never happen. Rape can happen to anybody, okay? Any kind of sexual assault can happen, whether you're a man or a woman. Doesn't matter who you are. You don't necessarily have to have sex with somebody to sexually assault someone. Sometimes it can be with a foreign object. It could be from a group of people. It can be from the person you least expect. Most of the time, it's somebody who's closest to you. They come in all shapes and sizes. My personal thoughts, the only thing I can say about something like this is, regardless of who you are in the world, it can happen to anybody. Plain and simple. And it happened to one of us. It happened to somebody in the business of pro wrestling. I'm not quite sure how much different it would have been had it would have been a man. But regardless, we would have stuck up for him. Just like how we're sticking up with our sister Alejandra. Plain and simple. Now, personal little story. I met Alejandra back in 2019. It was a show that my sister worked in 2019. It was an all-women steel cage match that night. She main evented. She worked that match. Alejandra didn't. She was actually in a battle royale that she worked. I came across her because she was just a few years in the business. She was one of the most graceful people that I have met. She was also very professional. I unfortunately never got any chances to take any kind of pictures with her. Matter of fact, I was actually going to work that show, but I was injured at the time. And I would have loved to have gotten a picture with her. But the message I want to put out to Mrs. Alejandra, I'm going to keep your name in confidence, is that you're not alone. The thing I love about DFW All Pro Wrestling is that there's such a strong support for women's wrestling. Matter of fact, just worldwide, there's a strong support for women's wrestling. In WWE, in Impact Wrestling, hell, New Japan Pro Wrestling is actually about to start integrating an IWGP Women's Championship that's going to be announced later on this year. I believe it's in November. The only thing I can say about you, Alejandra, is that you are strong. You are not only strong, but pain, when you cry, that's pain leaving you. The healing can begin from here. You're not alone. Whether it be a man or a woman, it doesn't matter who it is. If it can happen, it can happen. And the fact that you chose not to stay silent speaks volumes, because rape is about control. Rape is about control. It's about keeping people under your thumb, and you chose not to do that. You have a strong support system that is the professional wrestling business. The men and women who work. You've got support for DFW All Pro Wrestling. You've got the support of Carlos Esquivel. Let me say that real quick. Let me rephrase that. You got the support of Carlos Esquivel, aka Juggalo 972, the whole pot of positivity. You've got 18,000+ who have your support. We've got your back. And to anybody out there who takes this lightly, and anybody out there who goes and decides to take somebody's life and their innocence and to try to control others by sexually assaulting, fuck you. You are no different than anybody else who has raped others. You are no different than anybody else who has sexually assaulted others. You're no different than anybody who takes advantage of anybody. Plain and simple. It can happen to anybody. So please, look out for each other. I'm not coming as Juggalo 972. I'm coming as Carlos Esquivel, retired professional wrestler. Alejandra, we are with you.